Yeah, but what we didn't show you is Brown was the first to the rental car counter when that was all over. All right, the Juices join me in the booth right now as we get set for this race.
Purnomo Muhammad Yudi, lahir di Purwokerto, Jawa Tengah, tanggal 12 Juli tahun 1962, umur 56 tahun. 1. Adalah mantan pelari nasional Indonesia. Kesuksesan putra petani ini hingga menjadi pelari kelas dunia dicapai dengan modal kerja keras dan semangat pantang menyerah. Purnomo menerjuni olahraga atletik khususnya lari karena terinspirasi kesuksesan Mohamad Sarengat, pelari legendaris Indonesia lain yang juga berasal dari keluarga sederhana namun mampu berprestasi di tingkat internasional. Purnomo mengikuti kejuaraan atletik antar pelajar pertama kali saat kelas 3 SMA. Pada saat itu ia berlomba dengan hanya mengenakan kaos kaki karena tak mampu membeli sepatu. Purnomo menikahi RAY Endang Irmastiwi dan dikaruniai 4 orang anak. Setelah mundur dari lintasan, dia aktif di organisasi olahraga yang mengurus mantan atlet-atket Olimpiade Indonesia. Ia juga aktif di politik bersama Partai Demokrasi Indonesia Perjuangan.
In lane 4, Donovan Reed does not figure to be a factor in this race. In lane 5, Mark Gasparoni. It would be surprising if he too would finish up with Brown or Grady. Christian Haas is a bit of a question mark. Pretty good.
Prestasi Purnomo kala itu pun kayak yang dilakukan Zohri sekarang. Sangat hebat. Dia masuk putaran semifinal Olimpiade Los Angeles 1994. Melalui siaran televisi, dia terlihat berlari di lajur 3 bersama pelari top dunia seperti dari Jamaika, Inggris, dan lainnya. Legenda atletik Charles Lewis pada putaran final kemudian menjadi juaranya.
But this is the big question mark here. He's been favored to get some type of medal in this race, probably a silver or gold in the finals, but he's had a problem with his knee and he didn't look good in his quarterfinal heat this morning.
Meanwhile, Grady in lane 2 is talking about beating Lewis, and right there, it looked like Purnomo was the man in lane 3 who jumped. So a false start, you're allowed 1, and then the second, and you're done. So Purnomo was the man who does not figure to be a factor in this race.
Well, we know Sam Grady is a tough competitor. He's a front runner. He likes to run out in front. He normally is at his top speed at about 50 yards. He gets there sooner than anyone else in this race. Of course, from 50 meters on, the key is to try to relax and hold that speed. Normally around the latter part of the race, the last, I guess, 20 meters, someone like Lewis would pull on him, but in this race, I don't see anyone, with the exception of Ron Brown, when he is sharp, that has that pulling power late in the race that can catch Sam Grady. I expect him to be out in front and probably lead this race all the way.
Again, Stewart in 1, Grady in 2, then Brown in 7, Williams in 8. The key men, question mark in lane 6, Christian Haas. Again, 4 will go to the final. The final to take place in about 2.5 hours. Grady in 2, Brown in 7. And again, we have a false start. It looked like Gasparoni in lane 5. So we've had a false start from 2 of the guys who really don't figure to be there at the end. Purnomo in 3, Gasparoni in 5. And again, if they were to do it again here, they would be disqualified. You're allowed 1 false start. Do you think, does that help or hinder people like Grady and Brown?
Well, in this field, I don't think so. Except for Haas, he may have a chance of getting into the top 4 here, and that's only if Ron Brown's left knee is bothering him. But for the most part, the first 2 inside lanes on the right side of your screen, and on the left side, the 2 outside lanes are the 4 people who should easily make the finals in this event. That knee, and even when he was taking a few warm-up starts for this race, he appeared to limp a little bit. But I'm sure he gave up a whole season last year, football season that is, to try to make it to these Olympics. And if there's any way for him to push it to get to the finals here, he's going to do it. So he'll blow out that knee if he has to try to make it to the finals.
This time it's a good start. You've got Grady and 2 on the outside. Williams from Canada in lane 8. It is Grady, it is Williams, it is Haas moving up in lane 6. Now Brown coming from behind, and in lane 1, it is Stewart with Grady crossing the line. A blanket finish. Stewart coming up at the very end from Jamaica with Grady. Brown appeared to get a very slow start, and it's questionable whether or not he made it. It appears that Donovan Reed may have gotten in there in lane number 4, a man who has never run faster than 10.42. So this is the biggest surprise thus far in the track and field competition. What has just happened right here. It appeared that it was Stewart, Grady, Reed from Great Britain, and Williams on the outside, who was off to a good start in lane 8. He and Brown were right there with the top 4 going to the final.
Well, Brown didn't have any acceleration at all. At about 40 meters out, he was a good yard and a half, 2 yards behind, and normally it's at that point that he starts pulling on the field, but he has that problem. Is it a problem with his tendon behind his left knee? Obviously, he didn't have the lift, and I don't think he got there at the end. I don't think he got there to make the team. It's really sort of a crime. I mean, it's so sad when you consider a guy sat out a whole season last year from the, he could have signed with the Cleveland Browns. He sat out because he wanted to make it to the Olympics. He's the only man to beat Carl Lewis last year, and a little injury like a tendon problem, I think will not allow him to make it to the finals. As you can see here, he's far behind the field. It's not that unusual for Ron Brown. He has to pick up normally to pull on the field here. As you can see, Grady on the second lane, he's running comfortably, and he just doesn't have the lift. He doesn't have the lift in those legs to get up and catch these guys, even though he looks like he's trying to pull on him, Donovan a little bit, and he's got a pretty decent lean here, but it's going to be close.
Very, very close. Extremely. This reminds me of the finish we saw in the trials in the women's 100-meter hurdles, that 4-way finish at the very end. Stewart looks like he's the man, and then Grady, and then Reed of Great Britain is a fellow, as I say, who's never run better than 10:42, which is a slow time in this field. The winner here, Stewart, clocked in 10.26. And that's Williams at the bottom of the screen. Now, another look here.
The thing about Williams, he looked as if he was a little ahead of Brown. I think Brown may have got his head over the finish line, but the rules say your torso must be on that line, and I'm sure we're going to have to wait for the picture to see exactly who made it. But as you can see, Brown, once again, his gait was off this morning. He didn't look good at all in his race.
Not sorted it out yet officially. You might have heard the crowd in the background, a big gasp going up as they looked at the replay board here in the Coliseum. They were watching the same replay you were.